Boy named Hamada attempts to flee from an invisible person, only to be killed. High school student Kaname Suda receives a message from his friend Hamada inviting him to join a mysterious online game, Darwin's Game. Strange things begin happening after he starts it. He experiences a hallucination of himself being bitten by a snake and is challenged arbitrarily to a deathmatch with a man in a panda mascot costume known as Banda-kun. Kaname is saved by his other friend Kyoda, who explains that Darwin's Game is a cruel, real-life survival game that pits players against one another. During a match, there is no way to call for help except for within the game. In addition, the game grants each of its players a unique superhuman ability known as a sigil, with Banda-kun's ability being able to turn invisible. Kaname puts up a good fight but ends up being outmatched until, out of pure luck, a car collides into Banda-kun while invisible and promptly ends the match. Banda-kun's body is then teleported away bit by bit, leaving only a pixelated body carving in the floor. While Kaname is fighting, Kyoda dies of blood loss having been stabbed by Banda-kun earlier, but leaves a message to Kaname telling him to survive. Kaname's win as a solo rookie player draws the attention of a high-ranking player, Shuka Korino. Shuka invites him to a warehouse to answer any questions he has about the game, where Kaname is forced to accept that he cannot quit the game. When he is unable to use his sigil, nor is the app able to analyze his power, Shuka attacks him using her chains. In the heat of the battle, Kaname uses his wits and skills to avoid her and manages to unlock his sigil, the ability to recreate weapons he has previously touched. He sets a trap for Shuka and defeats her. Realizing that Kaname truly knows nothing about the game and having seen his skills firsthand, Shuka surrenders, forcefully terminating the match so both players stay alive. The two then spend the night at Shuka's mansion. Shuka invites Kaname to join a clan, a group of players in Darwin's Game that battle and earn points together. She tells him that many in the game play it, as points from victories can be used as in-game currency or be redeemed for real-life cash, and advises him to use some points to temporarily hide his name from the challenge list, especially after winning against two high-ranked players. She also tells him that it is forbidden to reveal details about the game to any non-player lest they be forcefully teleported. Shuka and Kaname receive a notification for Darwin's Game's first major event, a treasure hunt event in Shibuya that has been sent only to selected players. After clashing with a mysterious player known as Inukai, who warns him to protect his cell phone, the two are separated, having been teleported to the city center in Shibuya. The event entails each of the 300 players collecting at least 3 rings before time is up to survive, despite there only being 300 rings available. Each ring also possesses different values of points depending on the gemstones set into it. In the 27th floor of the hotel building where he is teleported, Kaname meets Rin Kashiwaji, a middle school student known as the Analyst, for her ability to procure and sell information, including his location details that let Inukai find him. Kaname is informed that Wang, the ruler of an infamous clan named Eighth and has claimed Shibuya as their territory, is also participating in the game. By the time he exits his hotel room, almost 10 players have been killed in the hotel and floors from the 25th floor downwards have been barricaded by thick greenery. Rin warns Kaname against taking the elevator, and her predictions prove true when 4 players that chose to do so show up, having been drugged by narcotics plants into attacking the 2, who are the sole survivors left in the hotel that are not brainwashed. Rin guesses that the one behind all this is a player known as the Florist, who possesses the ability to manipulate plants, and Kaname deduces that he is utilizing the hotel's security cameras to direct his soldiers. Creating a handgun, Kaname and Rin destroy as many cameras as they possibly can, while using flashbangs to flee and hide from the soldiers. Disabled several surveillance cameras, Kaname and Rin head out to one of the auto-lock hotel rooms to hide and plan their next move. Based on the cameras that were destroyed, the Florist correctly figures out where they have been hiding. However, Kaname and Rin set a trap for the Florist, with Rin disarming the soldiers and distracting him, allowing Kaname to reach the first floor and locate him in the hotel's control room. Kaname and the Florist, a middle-aged man whose real name is Ichiro Hayaraji, battle it out, and Kaname is initially close to losing due to the Florist's impenetrable plant defense, high combatability, and the side effects of overly exhausting his sigil. However, Kaname sees a vision of a man resembling him using blacksmith tools to carve weapons that encourages him to explore the limits of his ability. Kaname reawakens, creating stronger bullets that are powerful enough to penetrate his armor by sacrificing the gun's durability to win the fight. Rin, reuniting with Kaname, informs him and Hayaraji of the Eighth's intention to attack the hotel to steal all the rings. As everyone is utterly exhausted, Rin proposes that they form a temporary clan to fight against Eighth and protect their rings, to which Hayaraji accepts. Kaname forms a makeshift clan with Rin, Ichiro, and Ryuji Meisaka, the player Kaname gave a ring to before becoming Ichiro's puppet in the elevator. While making preparations for the eighth's arrival, Rian notices that the point values of the gems do not align with the appraisal values, getting her to think that there is much more to this event than what the rules state, and that the objective might be something besides gathering 3 rings. Meanwhile, Shuka sends out a distress message to Kaname as she encounters Sui, whose sigil allows her to control water in the subway, and Sui floods a trapping Shuka underwater. Kaname and Ryuji head out to the subway. While back at the hotel, Rin and Ichiro notice that all rings have a QR code that reveal a number when scanned. Kaname and Ryuji reveal their sigils to each other, with Ryuji's being the ability to tell whether a person is lying or not. The two encounter Sui, and at the subway entrance, Kaname goes in to rescue Shuka, while Ryuji turns confrontational towards Sui, knowing through his sigil that she was lying when she claimed to know nothing about the subway. The kid with a dual personality with her late twin brother Soda's spirit in control of her body leads Ryuji into a trap at a convenience store, using the bottled water in the refrigerator to attack. But before she could deliver the finishing blow, Sui regains control of her body from Soda to stop the attack, and afterwards, Sui agrees to join the clan. Meanwhile, Kaname rescues Shuka, and after administering CPR, Shuka gives him his first kiss. Shuka explains her reason for participating in Darwin's game, and that is to get revenge against a player who murdered her parents. The four meet up at the convenience store to get to know Sui better. Night falls as the next set of rings is distributed, with the biggest prize, the diamond ring, spawning at the hotel, giving Rian a chance to get the code from the ring. Ichiro reveals that he played the game because he needs money to support his daughter Suzune, who has a bad heart. With the eighth invading the hotel, Ichiro takes possession of the rings to use as bait, as well as to help the other clan members hide their location, and he sets a trap at the hotel, killing several 8th clan members. Rian uses the diversion to run towards Shibuya Station, as through the numbers and understanding that they are related to hardness, Rian figures out that the numbers refer to the latitude and longitude coordinates of the true treasure in this event. This sigil puts him at a huge disadvantage. Having set a trap at the hotel, Ichiro runs away with Sig in pursuit to activate it. However, he is ambushed by Kiichi, who along with Sig are Wang's strongest henchmen, and the two mortally wound him. Using his sigil on body to keep himself alive a little bit longer, Ichiro activates the trap to collapse the hotel, crushing and killing the members of the 8th clan present. Meanwhile, Rian arrives at Shibuya Station and learns that while the 8th also figure out that the true treasure is there, they could not find it despite searching the entire station, as they have not seen the code from the diamond ring yet. However, Rian gets captured as a member whose sigil allows him to sniff out her scent, alerts the gang of her presence, while Wang's sigil allows him to teleport right in front of her, which her sigil failed to predict. Wang threatens Rian to reveal the code on the diamond ring, and Rian responds by telling a long story to buy some time for the rest of her clan to arrive. Kaname leads Rian to a safe place so that she could figure out the meaning of the code on the diamond ring, while Shuka, Sui, and Ryuji engage in battle against Wang and his gang. While hiding, Rian figures out that the code 185,911 refers to November 1859, when Charles Darwin's book The Origin of Species was published. Meanwhile, Ryuji tries to distance himself from Wang, having incorrectly deduced that his attacks are only effective from close range, and Wang uses his sigil to attack Ryuji from behind and amputate his left hand. With Wang about to kill Ryuji, Kaname arrives with a proposal with Wang to let him have the key that he claims will unlock the door to the treasure in exchange for his life, with Ryuji well aware that he is bluffing. Ryuji reveals that his brother was killed by Wang and how he wanted revenge. Kaname's bluff succeeds as he distracts Wang by making him believe that there is a chance his key leads to the treasure, so that he can take the treasure hidden in the coin locker without giving him a chance to react. It is then revealed that the key to the code is the number of digits, as Darwin's book had nothing to do with Shibuya Station, and only the South Exit coin locker passcodes use 6-digit numbers at the station. The treasure is a call from the Game Master on a smartphone to grant Kaname one wish that is within their power. Kaname wishes to quit the game, but the request is denied, and he is told that he can only quit by clearing the game or killing the Game Master. Instead, Kaname uses his wish for something that deters killing in the game. 2 months pass since the event with the destruction in Shibuya officially ruled a terrorist attack. With Sui living at Shuka's apartment, Shuka decides to buy a house for the clan to live in. Suzune is visited in the hospital by Hideaki Kanehira, an insurance broker who is also a Darwin's game player, presenting her with an insurance claim for her father's death, while Rian, who is recovering from a broken arm, becomes friends with her. Rian tells Suzune that she knows what happened to her father, but because Suzune is not a player, Rian cannot reveal the truth. Kaname spends the past 2 months training at the Danjo Boxing Club. As Keed reattaches Ryuji's hand with her sigil, Kaname requests to form an alliance with the Danjo Boxing Club, and Danjo wants him to prove his worth with a match against him with sigil usage allowed. Meanwhile, Kaname's classmate and friend Shinazuka pays a visit to Kaname's apartment while he is away, and he is kidnapped by Keiichi, who survived the hotel collapse. Kaname and Danjo had their match, and despite having full use of his sigil, none of his attacks made Danjo even use his sigil. Danjo corners Kaname, but Kaname responds by using a flash grenade that makes Danjo use his sigil that hardens his body, thinking that he was going to be attacked by explosives. Having seen that Kaname is a capable leader, his clan forms an alliance with Kaname's newly formed clan, Sunset Ravens. The duel is then interrupted by Liu Suilin, the top player in Darwin's game, as she uses her secret technique, killing intent, to make Kaname freeze while he feels a potential lethal attack from her in order to kidnap him. Suilin takes him for a ride in a limo driven by her butler Ximing and demands Kaname to become the heir to her clan of assassins, but he refuses. The Sunset Ravens chase the limo in a Humvee and challenge Suilin to a clan battle. After initially struggling, the Sunset Ravens manage to stop the limo by freezing the liquid from a bottle of booze with soda's sigil to destroy a tire. Suilin surrenders when Ximing points out that she would have likely been killed by Shuka had the duel continued because of her limited mobility without the limo and the ineffectiveness of her techniques against Shuka. With the Sunset Ravens victorious, Suilin decides to join the clan on the condition that if she is to kill anybody from the clan, Kaname will be first. Meanwhile, the 8th uploads a video of Shinazuka held hostage with his fingers cut off, with Wong demanding that he shows up to fight him. Having located the 8th's hideout in a warehouse, Ri meets up with Kotori of the Icy Crown clan to ask for information about the current status of the 8th. With the information, the Sunset Ravens and Inukai arrive at the warehouse. The police also arrive at the scene, but they are quickly slaughtered due to their lack of sigils. Shuka delivers Shinazuka's smartphone with the app installed, and he joins Darwin's game as requested by Kaname, gaining the power of telekinesis as his sigil. Shinazuka uses his sigil to fight back against the 8ths, but is totally helpless against Wong. As the Sunset Ravens begin their invasion, Inukai challenges Keiichi to a one-on-one match and reveals that Keiichi was a martial arts prodigy who quit the sport after accidentally killing an opponent and felt enlightenment when Wong convinced him to become a killer. Kaname and Ryuji make their way into the warehouse, demanding Wong to release Shinazuka, only to find him chopped up into pieces. With Kaname about to be shot by Shinji of the 8ths, Kaname kills him instead, having decided that killing is necessary in this situation. Having decided to kill the 8th clan because of their murderous actions both inside and outside the game, Kaname challenges the 8th to a clan battle against the Sunset Ravens. While Kaname and Ryuji dispatch the remaining 8ths, Shuka engages in a one-on-one duel with Wong. As Wang uses his sigil that manipulates space to attack, Shuka activates her wire trap using her sigil to sever his limbs one by one. In a desperate attempt to escape, Wang teleports outside the warehouse but ends up in front of Kaname. Wang surrenders the battle, unaware that Kaname used his high roller privilege from the game master that forces the challenged clan to wager the same amount as the Sunset Ravens. With the 8th out of points, Wang and Keiichi disappear. Feeling insulted by his final words for being called a poisonous insect, Kaname furiously shoots Wang as he disappears. Elsewhere, Oboro, having completed an assassination job, is contacted by the game master regarding Kaname's ascension. Sometime later, the Sunset Ravens are shown in different parts of Shibuya hunting down other players attempting to take Shibuya as their territory after the 8 clans' elimination. They kill a good portion of them and leave enough survivors to spread the message of fear that the game is prohibited within the Sunset Ravens territory. In the epilogue, an angry Kaname begins the next event, a hunting game inside a forest.